Sponsored by Local Touch Online, a free online magazine that has an exclusive article by Pop Culture Geekery every month.
What's up, everybody? It's Chuck, and I'm doing Chuck's Comic Corner. We got a really good one today. I've got Inkblot by Emma Kubert and Rusty Gladd, and this one is coming out of Image. That's mostly I've been doing Image books, but you never know when something else comes up. Chuck's gonna find something else. This has been a fun one. So first off, you guys, if you know me at all, you know I love my fantasy. So when I saw this, I was very excited. I was excited for another name. If you guys aren't comic historians, you haven't been in comics for a long time, the name Kubert should mean something to you. If you're old school, Joe Kubert. If you follow actual creators and whatnot, you'll know of the Joe Kubert School. So he went out and he made a school for people creating and making comics and whatnot. And then he had two sons, Andy and Adam. And for me, that's where I know the Kubert name. That's when I was coming up. I loved them on X-Men and Wolverine. Loved their work so much. And so when I heard, ooh, Emma Kubert, okay, very excited. Part of this prestigious family. Let's check out her art. Oh my gosh, did not lose me. Wow, love what she's doing. Definitely keeping up the family tradition of just absolutely beautiful art. Tons of it's funny when you look at some of this work. And here, Joe, if you want to put up page 1 for me. I love having Joe here. He's awesome. This is beautiful root castle. Like, this is just gorgeous. But what's really neat about it is that there's so much detail there, especially in this top half of the page. And yet she's also really good about letting everything else kind of blend into the background. She doesn't try to draw every damn tree, every leaf. We know it's there, and it just, and she keeps the focus where it's important, on that castle, on the forefront. Gorgeous. Love the way, love your work. Honestly, just love it. I think it's great. And now we get into the fantasy of it. And the fantasy so far that we've got is that it's a family that comes from one son who, it basically seems like he's the first human, so to speak, and or the first one of these gods or whatever. And so it's a long line of family members, and he is the king, Xanthus Voidbreaker. And basically what happens is he built this castle, but then he also ended up breaking into this dimension realm known as the Void. And if you know me, you know that the Void means something. And everybody loves that term. It's a great term to use, the Void. And he's the one who breaks into the Void, which is how he got that name. And all of his siblings ended up taking up important spots in the worlds. They all ended up getting their own kingdoms and all that kind of stuff. And then, of course, we come to the very last sibling, the youngest, and she's effectively the note taker. She has a library, and every time anyone else does anything, she adds to her library, and she keeps writing and creating. And you see that she starts to feel like she's working for everybody else, and that's difficult. That's a tough life, and I think all of us have felt that in one form or another. So it was very relatable in as much as fantasy can be. And that's what I do like about good fantasy. Good fantasy is able to take you to somewhere unimaginable, and yet it's able to make you go, I get it, I understand. And that's good fantasy, and I think you guys definitely have that going on. I liked it an awful lot. She's working, she falls asleep, she knocks over some of her magical ink while she's sleeping. I assume it's magical ink. It looked magical. And this little cat is created. And I assume that's the Inkblot. And this cat seems to have some magic. I'm pretty sure that this cat is able to create portals into other realms and whatnot. And she ends up in a little bit of danger. And things things go awry. And she's luckily able to get out of it. And that's kind of where the first issue finishes. Now, I only read the first issue, and I feel like really you should only have to read the first issue to kind of get the idea of the story and move on. I would say, though, if I'm kind of nitpicking, that's sort of where this kind of loses me a little bit. Again, I'm a big fantasy fan. I love this sort of stuff. My one issue was that I felt like it wasn't necessarily setting up the rest of the series and the other issues. So we saw something cool happen, and we had a neat little moment, but it didn't really turn into anything. At the end, I don't want to spoil too much of issue 1, but the cat's gone and she's left alone in her library again, and then what? You know, we don't really have that. We have no reason to go on. There's nothing that's leading us into the next issue. So what needs to lead you into the next issue is solely on the beauty of that one story and the gorgeous art. And so I would definitely give it a try and continue reading the series, because it was very cool. I enjoyed it a lot. But again, work on that ending a little bit. I feel like there was something that could have happened to sort of move people on and into the next issues and so on. That's the one real spot I would mention any kind of issues with. But again, would I keep reading it? Absolutely, I would. Now, you know, if it ended up just being a bunch of random tales, I'm not sure it would be my thing, because I really like what the story that they're telling here, and I would really want to get into it as much as possible, get into the meat of that and find out what's going on. But that's just me, man. I'm you know, and that's the weird thing about having an editor like myself, is that we're just going to give our opinion and what we think, and try to take it from a fan perspective, and sometimes we're right and sometimes we're wrong. But I would give this a solid 3.5 to 4 out of 5. I enjoyed it an awful lot. Art was gorgeous. Had no issues with art. It was a fun story, and I'd really love to see it move on and see where it goes. So guys, get out there into the comic stores. Please, into the comic stores. They need you. We as comic creators need you. And pick up Inkblot right now. I think you guys are going to have a really good time with it. So thank you so much, everybody. I'm really glad you guys showed up. Thank you to my crew who keeps these videos coming out and helps me out with all these beautiful images. Is there an image here, or is this my hand? I don't know. That's going to be up to them. Anyways, thank you so much. Peace, love, and comics. My name is Chuck. Take care of yourselves, guys.